Hey guys, how are you? I miss all of you. I love all of you. Just out here being essential, hooking up cable, making sure everybody has their internet, make sure you have your internet. Just kidding. Look, I'm safety belted off. I hope you guys are leaning on God for your safety this time.
Hey everybody, taking a minute here to let you know how much I miss you, and I can't wait until we can all get back together as a youth group and in real life and just have a great time. Take care.
We miss you and we love you. We miss you and we love you. We miss you and we love you, and we hope to see you soon.
Hey Hope students, miss you guys. I just can't wait to get back together, hang out, make some memories, learn about God. Oh, and there's always one thing, I've got candy.
Hi guys, Jeff and Trina here. We miss you, coming from Menards.
We miss you. Stay safe, wash your hands, do your homework.
Hey guys, it's Riley. I miss you guys so much, and I hope you're having fun quarantining. If you bake anything, let me know, because your girls will come for new recipes.
And to let you know how much I miss seeing you every week, and I hope you are all doing well.
Hey students, this is John Teefy. I just wanted to let you know that we really miss seeing your faces. Can't wait to be with you again. We're praying for you guys and hope that you're just using this time to grow closer to your family, your friends, and most importantly, God. Hope to see you soon.
I want to say I miss you guys.
We miss you.
I'll see you soon. Love you. Goodbye.
Hey guys, welcome to Hope Students TV. My name is Garrett. I'm the youth pastor here at Hope. We're so glad that you're chiming in with us. This is my daughter, Austin. Austin, say hi, wave a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's good. That's pretty good. So anyway, we're glad that you're here with us. Like we just said, we really miss you guys. We miss gathering together for youth group, but we're so glad that you're taking time to chime in right now and utilize some of the ways that we have to connect with each other. I want to remind you that we have Zoom groups set up on Sunday nights for your small group. So on a typical Sunday night, you gather by grade with your small group leaders. That still happens on Sundays at 6:30 or 7 o'clock. We think it'd be awesome if you would jump in on those. The links are down below on YouTube or over in the bio on Instagram. And so jump in on those groups. Also on Tuesdays at 4, we're doing a Zoom study for high school students. That's going to be really great. And we've been talking about worry and anxiety. We're going to keep doing that, and we hope that you join us for that. And then on Wednesdays, we have Zoom games for middle school students at 4 p.m. And those are always a great time. We've played a lot of different games. This week we're playing something brand new. It's called Zoom By. It's like a Survivor style Zoom game. It's going to be awesome, and Austin's really excited about it too. So make sure you jump in on that. We also have worship time with Camden on Thursdays. We have different opportunities throughout the week for you to be engaged on Instagram, and we hope that you take advantage of that. We're doing something new though, and I asked Riley to kick it off for us. We're doing quarantine eats, or like stay-at-home snack time. I don't know. I'm going to have some different names tomorrow that you guys can vote on what we're going to call this segment, but we're going to show you guys how to make some really great little snacks. We want you to submit your own cooking videos on what you're eating during quarantine. Riley's going to show us how to make whipped coffee right now.
Hey Hope students, today I am making instant whipped coffee with Bailey and Cole. So I'm going to teach them how to do it, and I figured I'd bring you along with me. Okay, so first step, gather your ingredients. So Bailey has our instant coffee, and Cole has our sugar, and then we have water in the microwave that will heat up and get 2 minutes. So this recipe is equal parts instant coffee and equal parts sugar and water. So Bailey's gonna dump in 2 tablespoons of instant coffee grounds, and Cole's gonna do 2 tablespoons of sugar. If you're not super big on the coffee taste, you could do a little extra sugar if you want. Okay, the next part is you have to boil water. So I just microwaved that for like 45 seconds. So Bailey's gonna do 2 tablespoons of hot water, and then she's gonna stir it all around in there. So you can see it still kind of looks grainy, but that will soon change. So just be careful. Great, now we're to the whipping stage. So I have basically zero upper body strength, so I'm using a stand mixer. So it'll take less time, but I'm gonna whip it. It'll probably take 4 minutes, but you just wanna whip it until it gets fluffy, so be patient. I'll show you guys a little technical difficulties, but we got it to work. So I'm gonna show you our products before we put it in the milk. Okay, so this is about the consistency you want. See how it's hanging off and not dripping? That means it's firm enough. I use a spatula to scrape off the edges and then mix it for a little longer so all the stuff's off the sides. Yours shouldn't make this much. We had to double ours because our mixer wouldn't reach the bottom. So hopefully that doesn't happen to you at home. So I'm going to prepare a glass of milk, and then Bailey's gonna put our coffee on top. Okay, so Bailey is helping me out. She's gonna pour it into the glass. It gets a little messy, so be careful. Just make sure that you clean up after yourself so your parents don't get mad like mine did yesterday. So ours is a double batch and it will fit in that glass. But I would suggest if you're not used to drinking coffee, to not use a lot of it because it's very, very strong. So just be careful, it'll also be wired all day. So Bailey will do one more scoop for me and then she'll stir it. Okay, stir it up, show them how it looks when you stir it. Look how pretty that is. Okay, so here's our finished product. I kind of finished stirring it in. It's kind of hard to stir when the ice is in there, but the ice makes it cold, which I prefer cold coffee, so. If you do not like the taste of coffee, you probably won't like this, but a suggestion is putting in flavored creamer that you use in with your milk before you put in the whipped coffee to help with the taste, or any like flavored syrups you have or anything like that, like Starbucks does. So if you try this, please send me your videos because I want to see it, or your pictures or whatever, and if you need help, let me know, but enjoy.
How do you feel about change? Now, that might seem like a strange question, but generally, how do you deal with change? Now, there's some people in this world who love change and there's some people who hate change. My wife is one of those people who really doesn't like to change. She would go to the same restaurant, order the same thing, listen to the same music, watch the same 3 episodes of The Office, drive the same car, go to the same place for vacation. Like, she likes that consistency and she doesn't really love change. I, on the other hand, I like change. I like to go new places to eat. I love to mix it up on vacation. If it was responsible to get a different car every other month, I would. I enjoy mixing things up. I enjoy changing. But what about you? How do you feel about change? So if you follow us on Instagram, _@HopeStudents, we have a survey out there right now, just a little quick story survey, and we want to hear from you. How do you deal with change? Do you like change? Do you dislike change? Now, regardless of whether or not you love or you hate change on a typical basis, right now change is difficult because we're missing out on some things that we really enjoy. We miss out on coming together for youth group. We miss out on going to school to see our friends. We're missing out on baseball season or softball season or track season or prom season or graduation. There's all these different things that we're missing out on right now. And this change can be difficult. And last week we started this new series called Subject to Change. And we're going to be talking about how we deal with change in our life. Because last week we said it, you don't get to stop change from happening. Change is going to come in life regardless. But the way you respond to change, it varies. And as Christians, we can respond to change in light of the gospel. Last week we talked about how Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. We talked about how we can fix our eyes on Him even when all of our life changes around us. But today we're going to be talking about the negative side of change and how is God present in the midst of those change. Today we're going to be in the book of Isaiah. Now, Isaiah is a prophet, meaning that he is the mouthpiece for God. He's somebody who talked on behalf of God. Now, Isaiah, he kind of came with a negative message. He said, listen, Israel, this was God's chosen people, Israel. He said, listen, Israel, you've made some mistakes. You've sinned and God is upset with you and you're going to be punished. Now, when God punishes the Israelites, he typically gives them over to the hands of their enemies, which is a bad thing. It's bad for Israel to be handed over to their enemies. It's not a comfortable situation. But Isaiah isn't all doom and gloom. God isn't just hard on the Israelites. He also talks about hope. We also hear a lot about the coming Messiah. Now, this was hundreds of years before the coming of Jesus. But we hear a lot about this promised Messiah. And we see that in chapter 43. I'm going to read chapter 43, verse 2 for you. This is what God has to say to Israel. When you go through the deep waters, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. The flames, they will not consume you. For I am the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, your Savior. God is reminding them that even though they're going to go through some hardship, that He is not abandoning them. They will not be defeated. They still have hope. See, in the midst of change, especially in the midst of hard change, we can still be hopeful because God is there with us. When I was in high school, my freshman year of high school, I loved youth group. Growing up through junior high, I loved going to youth group. I had this great youth minister. His name was Jared, and I came back from the summer trip with Jared, and I was just on fire for God. I loved youth group. I loved what was going on. I wanted to go into youth ministry, and like things were good. And then right as soon as the school year started, we found out that Jared was leaving, and my heart just broke. I remember in the midst of that change, I'm like, what is going to happen? Like, who's going to come and replace this guy? I mean, things are going so well. Why would God allow this to happen? Where's God in the midst of this change? What's going to happen to my youth group family? And I'd love to tell you that things were just all right, but they weren't. I mean, things were hard. And I think that that's what God is reminding us, is that even in the midst of change, like, things aren't going to be just great. He's not saying, hey, put a smile on, look for the silver lining, everything's going to be all right. No, instead he says, sometimes life is hard. You're going to go through some stuff, and it's going to be challenging. But I'm there with you. And I truly believe that throughout high school that God really was there with me. I wasn't abandoned, even though I went through a big change and was dealing with that. And I believe that God hasn't abandoned you either. In the midst of this change that we find ourselves in, God is still faithful and He is still there. Now, this isn't just something that we hear in Isaiah. This is something that Jesus, He talks about as well. In John chapter 16, Jesus is talking to His disciples and He says, listen, I'm going to go away. Big change is coming your way, guys, and it's going to be hard. I'm not going to be here with you anymore. But at the end of this chapter, He says this. In verse 33, He says, here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. Jesus reminds His disciples, hey, things are going to be tough sometimes. And He reminds us that things are going to be tough sometimes, but take heart, be encouraged, look up, because I've overcome the world. See, Jesus, He's overcome all the hardship, all the hurt, all the trials, all the terrible things that we find ourselves in. He's given us hope. He's given us hope that someday everything will be made right. He's given us hope that even in the midst of hardship, we can still turn to Him and rely on Him. He's given us hope that even in the midst of all this, we still have purpose. You're still called to love people. You're still called to deliver the good news of Jesus to people. He's given us hope that even in the midst of separation, we can still lean on our small group. We can still lean on our youth group. We can still lean on our church. Because He's given us those people as sources of hope and as reminders that we've not been abandoned. See, life will be hard. Some changes will be difficult. But we can take heart knowing that Jesus has overcome the world. We can take up hope because Jesus has overcome this world. Right now, our world needs hope. You might be somebody who needs some hope. And so we created this simple lock screen. I know it's just a picture, but we want you to put that on your phone as just this constant reminder that Jesus has overcome the world and we can take heart. So get on Instagram, take a screenshot, put that as your wallpaper on your phone, and just be reminded that we have hope in Jesus. So be reminded, but then the other side of that is this. Remind others of the hope that we have in Jesus. You can be a beacon of hope right where you're at. You can send an encouraging message. Actually, right now, I'm going to call you out. Take a second, pick up your phone, and send somebody a message that just says, hey, I'm here for you, I'm praying for you, and I care about you, and I miss you. You know how powerful that is, just to be missed? It's an important message. Be a beacon of hope. Be a beacon of love, even in the midst of challenging change. And friends, take heart, because Jesus, He's overcome the world.